You know every diagnosis that your child has ever been given. You know the therapy schedule, the supplement protocol, the IEP goals by memory. You've Googled more medical studies at 2 a.m. than most residents read in a semester. But let me ask you something. And I want you to actually feel this question, not just the answer in your head. When's the last time anyone asked how you were doing? Not how's the family, how are you? And actually left enough quiet for the truth to come out. So if your shoulders just drop, then this video is for you. Not for your child, for you. Because today we're talking about the parent that nobody's checked on and why scientifically and neurologically that matters more than anyone's ever told you. So this video is going to be for that parent that's done everything right. Every appointment, every evaluation, every therapy, who's advocated until their voice was raw and kept going away. Who carries a kind of exhaustion that doesn't just go away with sleep, because it's not about sleep. It's about a nervous system that has been running on empty for so long, it's forgotten what full even feels like. So I want to tell you about a mom, and I'll call her Sarah. She brought her 6-year-old son in, let's call him Marcus. After 2 years of daily meltdowns, 3-hour homework sessions, and a teacher who kept sending notes home, we ran the insight scans. His results showed severe dysautonomia. The sympathetic nervous system, the gas pedal side of things, was jammed down, and the brake pedal was barely online. And so we built a care plan. 12 weeks in, and his daily meltdowns dropped to less than weekly. Homework went from 3 hours to 45 minutes. Sleep was improving, and there was real measurable progress. But Sarah kept saying that something felt like it wasn't sticking at home. That's when we asked the question that changed everything for that family. Has anyone checked your nervous system, Mom? And her results were nearly identical to Marcus's initial scans. The same dysautonomia, the same sympathetic dominance, the same flatline parasympathetic system. Because she had been running in survival mode for so long, she accepted it as normal. So 6 weeks after she started care, Marcus had the breakthroughs that she'd been waiting for months to see. Not because we changed a single thing about the protocol, but because we changed the signal in the room. So here's what was actually happening within that family, and it may be happening to yours too. Your nervous system has two modes. There's your gas pedal, the sympathetic fight or flight, and the brake pedal, the parasympathetic rest and digest system. And they're supposed to work in balance like a well-tuned engine. Accelerate when you need to, slow down when it's safe. But for parents raising kids with complex neurological challenges, the gas pedal is being pressed down for years. Every specialist appointment, every insurance denial, every time someone in your family dismissed what you were seeing with your child, every night that you stayed up researching because you refused to stop fighting. Each one of those wasn't just emotionally hard, each one was a neurological hit, and your body registered it as a threat. Your sympathetic system is fired. And because there was always something else to handle, the brake never fully engaged. And over the years, that became the new baseline. You stop noticing it because it's just how you feel now. Now, we call this wound up and worn out. The gas pedal is stuck and the brake pedal is barely functioning. It's why you can't sleep, but you're always tired. Why coffee gets you going, but then you crash. Why your gut's a mess no matter what you eat, and why the anxiety hums in the background of every quiet moment. It's not 10 different problems. It's one system that's stuck in sympathetic dominance with a vagus nerve that cannot do its job to calm it all down. And this is the piece that changes everything for families, because your child's nervous system is reading yours constantly. Their brain is scanning your breath rate, your heart rate, your muscle tension, and the tone of your voice, not to judge you, but to answer a biological question. Is it actually safe to relax? Now, researchers call this process neuroception, the nervous system's unconscious surveillance of the environment for cues of safety and threat. And the most powerful signal in that environment is the primary caregiver standing in the room. So when your vagal tone is strong, when that brake pedal is working, your voice carries more melody, your face is softer, your breathing is deeper, your child's nervous system reads those cues and uses them as an anchor, a template for what calm feels like. When your vagal tone is suppressed, which is what years of unrelenting stress does, those cues shift. The voice gets tighter, the face gets flatter, the shoulders stay up, and your child's nervous system stays activated, even when you're trying your absolute hardest to hold it together. And it's not your fault. It's neurophysiology, and it's also the lever for change. And so at Haven Family Chiropractic, we don't guess at any of this. We actually measure it. The Insight scanning technology gives us three objective windows into how your autonomic nervous system is actually functioning. Not how you think you're doing, but what your body is actually doing underneath the surface. And heart rate variability tells us how well the parking brake is working. Are you able to shift between states? Are you stuck in one gear? The surface EMG tells us where your neurospinal tension is living. For most parents I scan, it's been building within the upper neck and the upper back area for years. Now, the thermal scan tells us where your body's regulation of temperature and digestion and immunity is broken down. All the quiet signs of a nervous system that's been running hot for too long. And when I scan a parent who's been in survival mode, those three measurements tell a story that no amount of self reporting could ever capture. And most of the time, it's the first time that a parent's ever had their nervous system looked at objectively. Not just how they feel, not a symptom checklist, actual numbers and patterns that show us exactly where to start. Now, the good news is that the same scans that show you where you're stuck also become the best measuring stick for getting unstuck. And as care progresses, the patterns shift, and most parents start feeling it in their sleep, their digestion, their patience, and their emotional bandwidth before the next scan even shows it. So, this is what I want you to hear. If you've made it this far in our video, caring for your own nervous system is not selfish. And it may be the single most impactful thing that you can do for your child's healing that isn't already in their care plan. You're the environment that your child heals inside. You're the signal that they tune to. You're the co regulator that they depend on. And you've been running empty for so long that your system's forgotten what regulated even feels like. You're not the problem. You are a part of the healing pathway. And here's what we see clinically over and over and over. When a parent who's been pouring out for years finally starts getting care themselves, their sleep gets deeper, the digestion calms, the tension headaches ease, that background anxiety quiets down, and the patient comes back in the moments that used to detonate. And their child, without a single change to their own care plan, starts having the shifts that the family had been waiting for. Easier transitions and faster recovery from a meltdown, and a calmer house. Because the child's nervous system was reading the parent's nervous system the whole time. And when the signal changes, everything around it has permission to change too. You see, you've been fighting for your child for years, and it's time to let someone fight for you. And at Haven Family Chiropractic, we scan and care for parents the same way that we care for kids, with the objective measurements, with the individualized care plans, and a team that actually looks at you, not past you. So click the link within our bio, DM our office, call our office to schedule your scans, because your healing and your child's healing can happen at the same time. And that's when families see the biggest shifts. You've been the parent that no one has checked on. And let's end that here.